Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is watcharc. My name is Simone. I am a 21-year-old Italian broke watch enthusiast. And in today's video we are going to be talking about this watch, which is the CASIO DATABANK. This is one of the most iconic watches in the watch market and it's only about $25. So I bought this one because I love its connection with pop culture icons, just like Marty McFly from Back to the Future, which is one of my favorite movies, and Walter White from Breaking Bad, which is one of my favorite TV series. So I bought this one thinking that I would have used this one a lot because I always love how Casio makes this watch comfortable to wear, and really, with this one being such an icon in the watch market, I thought that this would basically end up being as one of my favorite watches. But it's not, guys, and I have used this one a couple of days when I got this one, and then I've never taken it out of the watch box, which is weird because I tend to use all my watches. So guys, I'm really curious to find out in this review why I have not been using this watch, which should be one of my favorites. Let's find out together during the review. So let's start with the specs to find out why I don't enjoy using this watch. This is not an uncomfortable watch. It's a pretty small watch. It's not very big. There are other watches in the CASIO DATABANK range which are bigger. I went with this one because it's the original, it's the OG, but plus it's smaller and I have a smaller wrist. But what I happened to find out is that unlike the F91 range, which are small here, very small lug to lug, this one is kind of longer because of obviously the buttons. So it's end up being a bit less comfortable than other Casio watches in the F91 range. And I'm comparing this one to the F91 range because they are similar, but this one it's $15 to $20 more. So let's keep that in mind during the review. So it's rubber, so it's very lightweight, and but you notice to have it on wrist because of the longer lug to lug, and plus having the buttons means that the display it's really small and it doesn't have a backlight. So what you end up having is a watch that it's not the most comfortable one to wear, and plus it's not really easy to read because it's a smaller display, and if you have any issue in seeing, don't buy this one because you're never going to be able to use the calculator and you're never going to be able to read it. Let's talk about the calculator feature, shall we? You're never going to use it because you have your phone with you everywhere you go. But you can also make the argument that you don't have to have a watch on because you can read the time on your phone, and that makes sense. But with this watch, what I feel like is that this calculator watch takes up a lot of space on your wrist that could have been used for other more useful things, that now this doesn't make sense at all to have it. Not only because you have your phone with you, but these buttons are so small that you can't use it. I don't know, in the 1980s did people used to have like smaller fingers? I'm not sure, but I can't use this one with my average size hands. I can't use it. So I end up ignoring completely the calculator feature. But overall, you have to use the buttons to set up the time and the day and everything. So I end up not using any feature like the stopwatch, and I end up trying not to set this one because it's really uncomfortable to do. It's not really that intuitive how to do that. So guys, it's not the best thing to have this calculator on wrist. You're never going to use it and it's going to be kind of a pain in the back, and plus it takes up space on your wrist that could have been used for the display to read the time actually. So yeah, it's not going to have the best. It doesn't really make sense to have this watch on. So what should be saving this watch? It's the coolness of it, and it does a bit. Of course, we don't wear watches to tell the time. Yeah, we do wear watches to tell the time, but we wear watches because it's cool to have a watch on. So what should be saving this watch? It's pop culture references, its coolness, and I haven't lived the 1980s. Maybe it's that I'm not connected with that period, with that age, but I am connected with the characters that wear this watch, and I'm not feeling it, guys. I'm not sure why. Maybe it's, I don't know. I'm not wearing this watch as much as I thought I would, because it's really uncomfortable, and yes, whilst it's cool to have, it's not really enough to justify me. When I wake up in the morning and I reach out for a watch, it's never this one, because yes, it's cool to have the same watch as Marty McFly, but that's basically it. It doesn't offer anything over that. You know what I mean? So yeah, I don't really see the value in this one. When you consider that for $15–20 less, you can get a much more comfortable and overall better watch, just like the F91W or the Casio I displayed in my last video, which has got a metal bracelet, so it's a little bit heavier, but somehow I find it's more comfortable to wear. And this band also, it's a problem, because unlike those Casio, it's a wider band, because this watch is a bit wider, it's a bit longer, so it's less comfortable, as I said. So this band is a bit wider, and it doesn't give that Casio vibe, and plus now it's summer, so it gets really hot outside, and I end up sweating a lot under this brand, which is not something that I like. So yeah, guys, overall, I'd say to end up this video and to conclude, I feel like this could have been a better watch. I think it was cool in the 1980s to have a calculator on wrist, and it made sense, but I think now it doesn't. And maybe I'm missing the point, but I'm not sure. This watch doesn't convince me completely. I feel like there are other options by Casio that are much better made, that makes much more sense, and are cheaper on top of that. So if you want to have this watch on, if you want to have this watch in your collection, just to say, I've got on my collection the same watch as Marty McFly, go for it, because it's cool to have the same watch as Marty McFly. But if you want to have this watch in your collection to use it, I tell you guys, you're probably never going to use it. So yeah, overall, buy this one because it's cool, but you're never going to use it. It's not that expensive, so you can justify it by saying, well, it's only 30 euros, I can go past it and buy it and never use it, who cares? And I agree with that, but if you're someone just like me that wants to wear all the watches he owns, you're never going, it's not the best option. So guys, thank you so much for watching, thank you so much for the attention you give to this growing and new channel. Thank you so much for all the comments, all the likes, all the views, and all the subscribers, all the new guys. Hi to you guys. So thank you very much for the support you're giving to this new project which is really growing right now, and I appreciate each and every one of you subscribing, commenting, and liking the videos. So guys, if you like the style of video, click subscribe. If you enjoyed this video, like, and let me know down below what you think about this 1980 Nikon that should have probably remained in the 1980s. And for me, it's all. This has been watcharc. My name is Simone. I am a 21-year-old Italian broke watch enthusiast.